A clear choice for my favorite picture was one of Grant Wood's, and Spring in Town was one of his last two from 1941 and also acquired by the Swope in that same year. And it's reminiscent for me of so many Midwestern rural communities, and it has individuals giving back to that community. But I'm particularly interested in the industrial smokestacks in the upper right-hand corner. For me, in 1941, that might have represented industrialization's slow creep towards our rural communities. Well, as a born and bred Hoosier, certainly cars, boats, racing were a great influence in my life, and I was always grateful to be a part of the Meyer family. My late stepfather, Sonny Meyer, was a fierce competitor. He still to this day holds 3 world's records in hydroplane racing. He holds the most winning Indy 500 engine number. He holds the most pole-setting engines at the Indianapolis 500. And his father, Lou Meyer, was a 3-time Indy winner. Together, they with Dale Drake owned the Meyer-Drake Offenhauser racing business for many years. And I think one of my greatest takeaways was that they were fierce competitors and that winning was the prize. But I also learned from them that it's possible to be fiercely competitive and also be humble, to be compassionate and kind, to collaborate and be a team player. After a victory, a driver often gets much acclaim, but the Meyer family was always quick to celebrate every team member that contributed to that victory, and many of those team members remain important parts of our family today. So as a lifelong educator, it serves as a great point of pride to have served thousands of students in pre-K-12 and higher education over the years, recognizing that an informed citizenry, an educated citizenry, serves as a cornerstone of a strong democracy. An interesting Hoosier fact is that Hoosiers hold the nation's record in least likely to move from their birthplace. 55 miles is largely where a Hoosier will settle. So of course, my mind goes straight to Terre Haute, the Wabash Valley, and our area region. And a good education inspires a curiosity for lifelong learning and provides a quality of life for those that we serve. One of the things that I've learned as an educator is that a rigorous and a relevant education never occurs in a silo. And Indiana State University and the Swope are great examples of the importance of collaborating to provide a rigorous and a relevant education for all the students that we serve in the community. When I first came to Indiana State University in the early 2000s, Rick Shagley was a trustee of Indiana State University. We had a ISU employee who was serving on the board of advisors who told me there was an opening to serve on the board. And so I was grateful to have that opportunity to serve, which led to other opportunities. And it wasn't long until Rick Shagley was stepping away from the board of managers, and I had the opportunity and great fortune to replace him. Other opportunities since then to serve as chair on the campaign and provide other leadership opportunities have availed themselves, and it's just been such a pleasure to be a part of the Swope family. The Swope contributes so much to this community and beyond, and Tanya and I have been grateful to give back our time and talent and resources in varying ways, whether it be the education center, giving to the endowment, supporting the campaign. It's just been a pleasure for us to come to know so many wonderful staff and members and other community members that are affiliated with the Swope. We've enjoyed participating in Swope activities in many different ways, whether it's giving to the endowment, supporting the Capitol campaign, helping with education activities, First Friday events. There's just a plethora of ways in which anyone can give back to the Swope, and it served as a great source of pleasure for Tanya and I. The last decade has been an interesting 10 years for the Swope. As I reflect back on that era, my mind first goes to the amazing talent that we've had serving on our board as well as our staff. There have been times over the past 10 years where a first priority must be capital improvements, and we've always had the gifts and talents among our staff and board to address that. There are times when the collection has to be that priority, and we've had the right talent at the table. And so certainly the many that have contributed service to the Swope over the past decade is diverse and a great point of pride. It's also been an interesting era for capital improvements, from sealing the envelope on the outside of the building to lighting and HVAC and accessibility and protection of the collection issues. Certainly, serving as the Capital Campaign Chair has been a labor of love, and it's exciting to see a finish line and closure on this comprehensive campaign. I think when I look back on my service to the campaign, my mind goes first to the relationships that we built. It's been exciting to be connected to so many individuals, both of whom already have relationships with the Swope, but introducing a new generation of members, donors, friends, and others who will help ensure a bright future for the Swope for many years to come. But it's also been exciting to know that we will be able to accomplish our priorities of protecting the collection, ensuring accessibility, and knowing that we have a strong endowment. The very foundations of the Swope are built on service from the community. Certainly three that quickly come to mind is I'd want to thank Rick Shagley. To me, he serves as the pinnacle of one giving service back to the community and beyond. What a great point of pride it is to know that as he retired from the Board of Managers that I might have been selected to fill those large shoes. And I hope that I'm doing that justice. Harry McNeil is certainly one that comes to mind. Her passion for the Swope was admirable and reminds me of the many friends that we have who help contribute and ensure the success of the Swope. And then I'd like to thank Mary Ann Carroll. While serving on the Board of Managers, I had the great privilege of coming to know her quite well. And I've never known such passion for the Swope that I knew in her. And so it's with great pleasure that as we think about expanding education services to the community, that we might do so in the spirit of Mary Ann. When I think about being a recipient of the Richard J. Shagley Award, I am absolutely humbled. And I'd be remiss if I did not thank my colleagues, Rachel Mullenix, who serves as president of the Board of Advisors, and my colleagues on the Board of Managers, Kathy Bretlinger and Murray Pate. How humbling that they would consider me for this award, and I'm very grateful.